So how late in the third trimester would you be able to do that?
It's very unfortunate that our physicians, witnesses, were not able to attend today to speak specifically.
No, I'm
to
talking
that.
about your bill.
Yeah,
How
but
late how late in the third trimester could a physician perform an abortion if he indicated it would impair the mental health of the woman?
Or physical health.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm talking about the mental health.
So, through the third trimester. The third trimester goes all the way up to 40 weeks.
Okay. But to the end of the third trimester.
Yep, I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
So, where it's obvious that a woman is about to give birth, she has physical signs that she is about to give a birth, would that still be a point at which she could request an abortion if she was so certified? She's dilating.
Mr. Chairman, that would be a decision that the doctor, the physician, and the woman would
I understand
make at
that. I'm
that
asking
point.
if your bill allows that.
My bill would allow that, yes.
Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. Today I want to talk about a story that you're not likely to find on the Drudge Report. And there's a reason for this. I think Drudge is for abortions, even late-term abortions, partial birth abortions. This is the stuff that landed Kermit Gosnell in prison for like a long, long time. It's pretty bad stuff, man, I'm not saying that I'm not picking a side here, okay? If you believe that a woman has the right to choose, all good. If you believe that she should deliver if she has the enough responsibility to bang one out without a condom, let someone come inside of her and get pregnant, then all good. If you think that she should just not be responsible for those choices, all good too. Like I said, I'm not picking a side here on the blanket statement of should abortions exist or not. But I got some thoughts about like if it is going to happen, when it causes the least amount of damage to women themselves and society as a whole. All right. So we're going to continue. This dropped 2 days ago. Okay, so today is the 1st of February 2019. The story is from January 30th, 2019. This is on the Associated Press. So it says, Virginia abortion feud erupts. Governor blasted for comments. A push by Virginia Democrats to loosen restrictions on late-term abortions. Late-term abortions. So we're not talking, I just found out I'm pregnant and I need to get this handled. This is, no, I carried to full term. The baby is now viable and I could give birth to it, or I could have a C-section and we could deliver this baby and the baby could survive on its own. Right? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the point in time when the baby can now survive on its own, outside of the womb, in the world, and live a full and healthy life. They want to allow the killing of that child. Virginia Democrats. So it's erupting into a fierce partisan clash because of a viral video in which a lawmaker acknowledges her legislation would allow abortions up until moments before birth. Governor Ralph Northam added gas to the fire Wednesday by describing a hypothetical situation in a radio interview where an infant who is severely deformed or unable to survive after birth could be left to die. That prompted accusations from a lot of people that he supports infanticide. All right, so Democrats say that their views are being deliberately mischaracterized. I don't think so. We're going to take a look at a second. They don't mention who this woman is, but they put it on the picture. So this is her giving these comments, okay? And it raised a lot of eyebrows. Now, I just want to point a few things out. She's not white. She's likely not a Christian. And if you're not a Catholic or a Christian, I don't care. You can still be a good person, you know what I'm saying? But there's no like moral standard in her life. She doesn't have one. She is a moral relativist. That's why she's calling for this. So her name is Kathy Tran. She's a Democrat from Fairfax, and she's presenting this bill. It's HB 2491. Her bill dealing with eliminating some requirements for an abortion. The bill was killed after an intense questioning of Tran by House Majority Leader and hero to all Todd Gilbert from Shenandoah. Okay, so we're going to check both of these out. HB 2491. All right, so this is from the Richmond.com. This is a local blog, news site. So it says Tran admitted under questioning that her bill would allow for abortions up to the time of birth. So you could be dilated, you could go into labor, and you could say, kill this thing. I don't want it. I don't want it in my life. I don't want to take care of it. Kill it. And Tran is the one, this woman right there, looking like that, is the one that introduced it. Okay, I really had to dig for this, but you can go read the full text of this bill here. I want to show you how this stuff works. Very rarely do people ever put out a bill that says, hey, this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it. Usually what they do is they put out a general amendment bill, or they put out the budget bill, or a spending bill, because we don't do budgets anymore. They put out something, okay, and then buried in the lines of text is like 1 or 2 sections or 1 or 2 lines that just fucks the world up, or takes us down a path that nobody really wants to go down there. No normal person is going to want to do this. That's what I'm trying to say. There's only like 1.2% of abortions in the United States happen after the first trimester. That's after the first 3 months. Okay, and it's because it's difficult, it's bad for the woman, it's bad for society, it's terrible. Okay, it's not a good thing to kill a child that could survive on its own. Okay, you could adopt these kids out. There's lots of things you could do. There just seems like there's a concerted effort to kill kids, specifically unborn children. There's an effort going on to do that. And I don't know why. I don't know where it comes from. I have my guesses. But here's the bill so you can read it. I wanted to go find it for you so you can come in here and check it out. So it's House Bill number 2491. It wasn't just written by this Tran woman, okay? It was written by Adams, a doctor, I guess, Ayala, Carol Foy, that's 2 last names, Carter, Titus, Guzman, Hope Jones, JC, Corey, Krizitz. There's a bunch of them. There's a Levine. Okay, Levine's a Jewish last name. There's a lot of people that were on this. And this is what I'm saying. Like, that woman that I just showed you, maybe she's intelligent, maybe she's not. I don't know. Okay, but I doubt that she wrote all this legal jargon. Look how much of it. Look how much there is. There must be a couple thousand words written in the legal law format. There's no possible way that woman wrote it. So if you want to hold people responsible, it's got to be this list of people, the whole list, okay, including these 2 senators. And if it was me and I had my choice, I would say that these 2 senators are more important to go after. Boysko and McClellan out of Virginia. Boysko and McClellan, senators from Virginia. So this is what I'm talking about. They bury it in a bunch of legal jargon, and it's just a couple lines that most people would never get to. Okay, so they say, hey, we're gonna amend the legal code of Virginia, right? And the first section they're gonna go after, this section up here, is civil jurisdiction of general district courts, and it's got some points in here, talking about personal property to debt, fines, or money, right? And then you get down here to the next section. So this is the biggest thing that they put in this bill is partial birth abortions, which is what got Kermit Gosnell, like I said, they did a movie about him, got him like between 10 and 20 years in prison or something. Maybe he got life. I can't remember. I have to go back and look. But I think what happened is Kermit Gosnell got brought up on all this stuff. Then they put out a movie. But really, this is what the left wants. The left and Judaism. And I don't mean Judaism like the nice guy that lives next door to you who, He practices Judaism. He's a good guy. He's got a good family, you know what I mean, good values. Not him. Okay, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Judaism as a Zionist level. I'm talking about the MOLOCH stuff. You know, I'm talking about matzah balls with Christian blood in them. I'm talking about the hardcore stuff that is not part of your normal life. It happens behind closed doors because there's no space for it in the world until the mark of the beast system comes along. Once we have pure, unadulterated, unhinged evil in every human being's life, then we can unveil what's actually happening behind closed doors. But until then, there's a lot of normal people walking around. And there's people that'll listen to me and say, I support a woman's right to choose. And there are people that'll listen to me and say, abortion is wrong under any circumstances. I believe that there is possibly a gray area in here. You're talking about birth defects and non-viable life, you know, but we have genetic tests now, and that stuff can be found in the first 3 months. If you don't know you're pregnant within the first 3 months, you're doing something wrong in your life. You need help. So like I said, they just bury it in this legal jargon. Here's that point. We're going to amend this. We're going to amend this. Civil jurisdiction of general courts, talking about debts and fines. And then we'll go down here and we'll say, when abortion is lawful during the second trimester of pregnancy, and when abortion or termination of pregnancy is lawful after the second trimester of pregnancy. So this is third trimester abortions, and these are partial birth abortions up until the moment. All right, now the important part is down here. When they show a strike through, all right, when there's a line through something, that means that's what it's available. That's what the current law is. So the current law is written totally like everything in here with the line through it. And they put the line through the stuff that they want to remove from the current law. Okay? So I'm going to skip down here to number 3. Measures for life support for the product of such abortion or miscarriage. For the product. That's a child. Okay? Measures or life support for the child of an abortion or miscarriage shall be available and utilized if there is any clearly visible evidence of viability. They are wanting to change the word to shall. They don't want the word to be must. They don't want the word to be must. Measures for life support for an aborted child, miscarried child, who is still breathing. Right now, under law, it says they must be cared for. If you put viable life into the world, it must be cared for. They want to strike that one word right there, and they want to replace it with the word shall, meaning it can be available, not to the child, but to the mother, after giving birth. After the child is you can abort the kid if he survives. They're saying now you don't have to give him life support. That'll be up to the choice of the mother. You can let him die on the table. And I thought, there's no way, right? There's no way. But that's exactly what happened. So you can check this guy out at Caleb J. Hull on Twitter. Here's the quote. This is the Virginia governor. So let me show you a picture of him. That's him. Governor Ralph Northam in a sea of people. That's him. So he's been in office for 1 year now, and he weighed in on this. And my recorder here doesn't pick up audio. I mean,
and fathers that are involved. There are, when we talk about third trimester abortions, these are done.
Okay, so he just calls it. He calls it third trimester abortions. All right. While he's saying this, I watched this interview and I listened to it. He won't make eye contact with this woman over here. She is not happy to hear this. I mean, look at her face. Neither is this woman over here. She might be more down for it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. I'm just going off what I see, in my opinion. She's looking at him, and he will not look back at her and say this. Okay? But here's his quote. It says, the Virginia governor on abortion this morning. Quote, if a mother is in labor, if she's dilated and given birth, the infant would be delivered. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if the infant, this is a living being at this point, okay, it's not a baby, or sorry, it's a baby, it's not a fetus anymore. I go back and forth because I think, words matter. People say it's not a baby, it's not a real life until it's out of the other person's body. It says the infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physician and the mother. What discussion? You're talking about killing something that's already alive, and it's on a table. There it is over there. It's a baby. It's been delivered. You're talking about killing it while it's already out of the womb. And people say, no, you're twisting these people's words. This isn't really what Tran and the governor Ralph, Govey Ralph are saying, except for that's exactly what they're saying. It's this one word. They want to change that one word in the law to say shall. Shall be available, not must. Not must be available, shall be available and utilized if there is clearly any visible evidence of viability, meaning the child could live. That's him. So I'll leave the link. This is your elected officials at work. They want to kill people, murder. Until next time, is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.